Hey everyone, this is PrinceWatercress, and welcome to a brand new Let's Play. This time around, it is Demon's Crest for the Super Nintendo, the third and final game in the Gargoyle's Quest trilogy, following Gargoyle's Quest for the NES, and Gargoyle's Quest 2 for the Game Boy. As you can see, this is a side-scrolling game. We run, we jump, we shoot fireballs. We can also hover. We can also get hit by fireballs too for some reason. For a minute, I thought that the game had already started, but nope, this is just a demo. And we will be playing this part of the game very, very soon because it's the first thing that you play. Might as well go ahead and let the demo play anyway, though I can familiarize myself with the demon dragon's attacks, since you'll probably never see them once I do this battle for real. So, let's go ahead and press start. And I'm going to show off the options menu real quick. These are the default controls. You attack with Y, you jump with B, you cast magic spells, assuming you have any, as well as a means to do so with the X button, and you can perform a special action with the A button. And start not only pauses the game but brings up a menu. You can also choose between stereo and mono sound. I'm going to keep the controls the way that they are, and I am going to keep the sound mode on stereo. You can continue with a password, but we're just going to start a new game. And as soon as we start the game, we're stuck in this arena where that other demon took those crests away from us after a destructive battle. And that is the demon dragon that we fought in order to obtain the Crest of Heaven. So to do this battle, all you have to do is just run to the right and you'll end up at a dead end. You will eventually have to face this thing. When this thing lowers its head, that's your cue to jump up and hit it with a fireball. Just B and then Y. And if it shoots a fireball, you just want to stay away from it. If it hits the ground, you can just you can double tap B to do a hover, and that will allow you to avoid the fire. You can only get hit up to 4 times in that battle, and sadly you cannot see the heads up display until you beat this battle. So, right here we have 4 hit points in the upper left hand corner. That will change very soon. And we can also see our current weapon, demon form, and magic, or rather, current form, magic, and item, I should say, in the upper right hand corner. Took me a second to remember what those 3 windows in the upper right section were. And I can't pause the game, but it's not like it's going to make that much of a difference. I'll show it off once I get to the first area. But when you leave this area, the demon dragon will pop back up. Apparently, it's not dead yet. And it just sticks its head out. We can just hover by double tapping B. And we can just stay in the air and just shoot fireballs at it all day. And it just went down in 3 hits. And once you beat the demon dragon, you'll get this jewel. This jewel increases your maximum hit points by 1. So we now have 5 hits to work with. And we are now in the first area of the game. The red demon, also known as Firebrand, just like in the 2 Gargoyle's Quest games, headbutted the statue, and you can do that by pressing A. And doing so will allow you to get random stuff. We just picked up some GP. GP is a currency for this game. And the little orb with the fireball in it is going to recover 1 hit point. You can get it from pots, randomly from enemies. One of those two ways. The ghosts are pretty easy. They just go down in one hit. But these guys that throw the axes, they go down in two. And they can jump around a little bit, and they can be a pain. A very slight pain to deal with, but they are not insurmountable. And we just picked up a vellum just by headbutting that statue. The vellums, they are magical scrolls or pieces of paper that you can put spell charges on. There are 5 of them in the game, and you can buy spells at a spell shop to put on these pieces of vellum. Also, this is the pause menu. You get this menu, this screen, when you press start. And we only have 1 firepower, which is fire. This just allows you to spit fireballs at enemies and just lets you attack enemies and survive. You have 5 spells for the firepower. Apparently, you have to get all 5 of the firepowers to get the full attack range that Firebrand has. I'm assuming that this all counts as the fire crest because we have 5 crest powers down here. Crest powers pop up once you get a crest. And you can see how many crests you have by looking at the little plaque there in the upper right-hand corner of the menu. We've already gone over spells. Potions. There are 5 flasks that you can pick up in the game. And you can use those to hold potions. Some of them can heal, though some of them can also contain potions that do other things. And the talismans. You'll get talismans as you go through the game. There are 5 of them in all. And on the lower right-hand corner, you have the not only the identify window, which tells you what you currently have highlighted with the little staff icon in the menu here, in the little item slots, which you can move around with the control pad to see what everything does. And you also have the GP. GP is the currency of this game. Different coins give out different values, and you will be using the GP to buy things, such as spells and potions. Now, these ghosts spawn infinitely, and the rocks with the skeletons on them cannot be destroyed. Only the actual demon statues. And this big power-up lets you recover all of your health, which is good. If you see one, something's about to happen. There may be a boss fight or something. Also, you do not want to get hit. I can't believe I got hit. Trying to see if I could get anything else. But I can easily do this battle, I hope. And doesn't seem like there's a boss here, but if you headbutt this statue with A, this thing will shake, and you will want to back off to avoid taking contact damage from the enemies here, or the boss here. This boss has a charge attack. You can easily dodge it either by staying put if the boss is high enough, or hovering above it if the boss is near ground level. The boss can also shoot a 3-way shot, which you can easily avoid if you just move it in the proper place. And it also helps to keep the boss on the screen at all times, so that way you know where the boss is and you can easily hit him. Sometimes the boss will return to the ground and turn back into a statue and you have to headbutt it and back away again. I rarely have that happen. I did have it happen once during the practice mode, or the practice run rather, and it only happens if you take too long to defeat the boss. Thankfully, the boss doesn't heal itself or anything in case that happens. You can just get back in the battle really easily. And as you do damage to the boss, it will gradually turn more and more red, and eventually you will defeat it. Once it's in the statue form again and flashing, you can headbutt the statue one more time, and you'll ultimately defeat the boss. And we have another health extension. So we now have 6 hits to work with going forward. And now for this part. This is where your hovering skills will be put to the test. Now hovering. I've already gone over the fact that you can double tap B to hover. You can only move left or right at your current elevation. If you want to lower yourself down, you can keep tapping B until you're at the elevation that you want. You can't go any higher than the elevation that you're currently at. You can only go left or right and drop down with B. You can't go up while hovering in any way. And these things, they crumble when you step on them. You'll want to use these in combination with your hover ability to get past the plants, because these things hurt. More than likely, that jar will contain health. So if you fly or jump into a wall, you'll latch onto it. You can only spit fireballs in the direction that Firebrand is facing. And if you press down, you'll automatically drop down from the wall. If you press B, you'll jump. And you can do that to jump and hover your way to where you want to go. If you drop down with down on the D-pad, you can immediately get yourself back on the wall just by moving towards it. And I was surprised I was able to beat him up without getting hit. Same with him. Those wall spiders, they go down after just one hit. All they do is just move back and forth. That's pretty much all they do. Sometimes the jars contain nothing, them's the breaks. And you can not only use the hover ability to get to walls that are stationary, but also onto the sides of floating platforms as well. Now, if you drop down this wall here, you'll get your first urn. The urns, as mentioned earlier, well, I'm not sure if I exactly mentioned it earlier, but it can be... Well, I didn't mention it earlier, so I might as well mention it anyway. The urns are used to carry the potions, which I have mentioned earlier. And by going over in this direction, we'll be doing some cliff climbing and beating up some more spiders. You want to stick mostly to these floating platforms. And you want to be ready to hover when these platforms that move up and down get to their highest point. Some of the walls are cracked, and if you move into them, they will uncover spikes. They will uncover spike-like plants that you do not want to move into. Some of them even move too. Now those blocks right there, those little small square-shaped blocks, we will be able to break those later, but not now. And by jumping onto the side of this cliff, we can latch on, and then we can jump back up and get our health refill if we need it. Always make sure you get the health refills. You never know when you'll need a full health. And we have now met another demon. I've watched your progress, and I'm glad that I shall be the one to put an end to your petty crusade. To advance the dialogue, press Y. I believe you have heard of me. I am Arma. I will be your executioner. And Arma, pretty easy to defeat. Spit fireballs at him. Arma has a dive attack that you can either hover or avoid in some way. Usually hover, because he usually does go low enough to hit you. And he also has these fireballs that he can spit at you. You want to make sure not to get hit by the fireballs, obviously. And of course, just like the last boss, Arma does have invincibility frames. Make sure he stops flashing before you hit him again. And those are basically the two attacks that he has, and sometimes he'll just dive straight forward. And you definitely don't want to hit him when he does that. Or be near him when he does that, rather. And once you do enough damage, you'll beat Arma. For now. You do seem to possess the strength people have been talking about. Well, other demons, maybe. This is the demon realm, not the human realm. I look forward to our next encounter. And he just gives us a crest. Okay. You have found the Crest of Earth. With it, you can morph into Ground Gargoyle, or a Golem Gargoyle, and gain great speed and the strength to break stone statues. And then you go to the overworld map. And from here, we can go to other places to buy spells, buy potions, and even enter other areas that we have to get through in order to go through the story. And I'm going to press start here real quick to stop that sound of Firebrand, who I'm almost calling Red Armor there, flapping his wings. This is the map. You can get it when you press start. I will mention it. I will mention more of the controls, rather, in the next video, because it's time to call it. And I had the feeling that this video would take 20 minutes with just the intro part alone anyway. Join me next time, where we learn how to go through the overworld map and go to other areas. Until then, this is PrinceWatercress. Take care, stay safe, and thanks for watching!